Peace, healing, and light, family. Welcome back to another episode of Healing with Angelica's podcast, where we discuss all things healing. And if you are new to the show, welcome, beautiful soul. So, of course, before we get started, right, public service announcement. Before we get started, if you have not followed us yet, please be sure to share, like, follow, and subscribe on your favorite podcast station. As of right now, again, we're on Closing the Gap broadcast on YouTube and Facebook. Also, Knowledge for Life, our new platform streaming with Brother Stephen Muhammad. That's on Facebook and YouTube. And of course, Healing with Angelica on Facebook and YouTube to help spread the light of healing to others in need. Our show is every other Thursday at 1 p.m. And I'm only 30 people close to hit my 1,000 mark on YouTube. So go ahead and subscribe. Also, if you are ready to start your healing journey and don't know where to start, Healing with Angelica is here to assist. Don't know where to start? Of course, get started on your healing journey with Healing with Angelica with our one-on-one healing sessions today. Get your first 15-minute session for free. Text the word HEAL to 937-313-2466. So, on today's episode, we have an amazing brother, one of my close brothers here in Dayton, Ohio, my brother Pnut Johnson, as we'll be discussing today's topic, the fight for fatherhood. Brother Pnut, welcome. How are you?
I'm exceptionally well. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. So glad to have you. And for those who may not know who you are, do you mind sharing to our audience more about you?
Yes, I'm Curtis Pnut Johnson. I'm a community leader, um, um, entrepreneur, and author from Dayton, Ohio. I got on the scene pretty much around 2020. I've taught people how to teach. I taught people how to learn stocks from literally the corner of my apartment, and that kind of was my guiding light. That kind of got me more into helping people. And then my grandmother, who is a big community organizer from here, she's a part of a lot of different boards that were very, very powerful. You wouldn't have a lot of different things active that we enjoy today, which is the definition of legacy, right? It is planting a seed in the garden that you may not be around to even watch it grow. And my grandmother is definitely the exemplary of that. So I'm just walking her legacy after she passed. I want to honor her legacy by continuing to do community work, and that's what kind of led me to meeting you.
I love that. I love that. Leaving a legacy, right? We have to continue the legacy, especially with our elders who done did the work, right? So I love
Hmm.
that you brought that up. So now, you guys, before we get started on today's episode, The Fight for Fatherhood, please, if you have any questions for our guests, please leave your question in the comment section below. So, of course, today I got my special guest, Brother Pnut Johnson, as we'll be diving deep into what it really looks like to raise children while you're still finding yourself, having two children before the age of 19, and the fight to gain and keep your rights as a father. This is
Yeah.
going to be a real deep conversation, unfiltered, and just a conversation of growth, talking about just past mistakes and lessons and the determination it takes to be present in your children's lives. So
Mhm.
tap in because this one is going to be honest, healing, and hope. All right, Brother Johnson. So we're just gonna go ahead and just get started. Okay. I like to go to the
Mhm.
meat. That let that be the beginning, right? What kind of started your journey or not started your journey? I want to go and just share, if you can share just your story in becoming a father at a young age.
Okay, so to me, it all starts with inactivity, right? Because again, idle hands are the devil's playground. Again, I was the person who played basketball all the time. Everybody from Westwood, they every time you saw me, I had a basketball in my hand. I mean, I would dribble to the park, I would dribble underneath cars. I always had a basketball in my hand, so I kind of had a lot of things I were focused on. Like during that time, like my early upbringing, middle school, high school, but high school just I don't know, it was a different shift when it came to high school. It kind of was like my focus was a little off. And again, I did not have, you know, my father around, but I had a stepdad that was around, but he worked all the time. So with nobody there to guide you, all you have are your friends, right? So I had a friend who was into the girls a lot. He was a person who I looked up to during that time. He was the person who, you know, he had this girl, that girl, this girl, every which girl. And I'm over there like, I'm still heartbroken over my first breakup, and it's like, so he kind of got me doing things that I would normally do, like hanging out late night, just doing things where I would get in trouble, but then after a while, it's kind of like my mom kind of was like just too busy raising other kids and doing her life. So where I kind of slipped through the cracks because again I was a good kid, but I did I was sneaky. Like I would go do little stuff and get away with it. I remember there's a funny story. My mom still knows to this day. So mom, if you're watching, sorry. Um, this same friend came over to my house. My mom and dad would like go out, and the other car keys was there. So we kind of took the car and left. It was a truck. We left and went to Five Oaks, went to some girls' house, and got back before they even knew. And they were none the wiser, right? So it was certain little things that kind of got me doing risky behavior as a teen. And again, I wasn't getting reprimanded. I wasn't getting caught, and it kind of just kind of spiraled into me getting into a whole lot more trouble. And again, that comes with you know having sex early, what I'm saying, not being committed to anybody, just not really following the natural order of what the Most High will want for us.
Right, right. Now, you mentioned how you were a good kid, a good
Hmm.
child. So,
Hmm.
but did you say that you ended up connecting with someone and end up? Can you say that again?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the irony is, I connected with this person through basketball, which was my outlet from everything.
Hmm.
And again, he played basketball too. So like we go play basketball, whatever. And it was like me and him were just like best friends. But again, I'm the one where I kind of know what I shouldn't be doing, and he's kind of just like living wild. So kind of like I'm living vicariously through him, you know. So it's the natural progression of negativity starting to kind of creep in. Where now we're not playing basketball. Now I'm saying I'm about to go play basketball, and I'm really not. And then we start doing different stuff like going to the mall and stuff that weren't basketball anymore. And yeah, so we kind of just started messing with the girls and having a good time, and you know,
Yeah. I say that because, and I want to get your input on it. I say that because they say, now, I think it's in the Bible somewhere, but something about bad company corrupts good morals.
hmm
I be saying it right. So even though you knew right from wrong, because by
hmm
nature we know what's right and what's wrong.
yeah.
However, could you say that being around that particular company kind of enhanced you into getting more into wrong, and why it's so important to monitor your company?
Yes, yeah, yeah, yes. Like absolutely right. Because again, I mean, if you put, what I'm saying, a brand new fresh strawberry next to one that's rotting, it's going to rot directly where it's touching. This is scientific. And I'm not saying I was a saint by any means, because again, I was still, intertwined, and I was excited by it. I had fun doing it. Right. I'm not gonna lie. Right. But that was, and again, I'm taking accountability for me being a person who was just like liking to do bad stuff. But again, like I had other friends who were in church who kept me out of trouble, and it was stuff like that was like I really didn't want to do that, right? PJ Reed, hello.
And I think by nature, with you being young at the time, we always we get curious. We
Yes,
want to see what this, because we ain't never did it. Let's see what's
yeah,
this about. So I think it's just natural to just be curious and just
hmm,
and look at other avenues and explore different things, even if it's not the most right thing to do, right?
right.
So I wanted to know, like, what was the biggest challenge for you raising children while still trying to figure out your life?
Okay, so let's get to that piece first, right? So it was a girl that I was dealing with at the time, right? And I would go over to her house while her parents weren't around, obviously, right? So again, like that whole fatherlessness. But ironically, she lived with her father, but her father had to work, and it was disjointed because her mother lived somewhere else, right? So it was that gap in the system where I could ride a bike over there and whatever. So it was rumors going around school saying that somebody's pregnant or whatever, and I'm just like, well, I ain't worried about it. I asked her about it. She says, oh no, you ain't got to worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not yours. Okay, cool. And time go by. Then one day I come home from school, And my mother is like on the phone, right? And I'm like, hey mom, and she's like, wait. And I'm like, oh, I must be in trouble. Like I'm thinking something going on with school. She's like, who is such and such, right? I'm gonna protect this person because she's not gonna be paying the best light later. And I'm like, oh yeah, like my friend from school. She's like, so you got her pregnant? My heart dropped to my feet, and I'm like, at this point in time, I'm either 16 or 17 at this point in time. Like, I think I'm a sophomore in high school. And I'm just sitting there like, oh my God, right? So my mom is like, like, you gonna have to take care of this baby. You know what I'm saying? This, that, and the third. So she kind of already like prep, like, she literally took me to my job interview, knew the person that worked. She got me hired at this job. Like, she was like, no, you gonna work, right? I thank my mom for that. I love my mom.
Yes.
Shout out to Miss Bridget, right? And again, so now I'm not having the same experiences of everybody else in high school, right? I'm getting out of school. There's basketball's done. I had a scholarship for track and field, which is for Robert Morris College. That was over with. My whole life was just literally now geared towards being a father.
Mm-hmm.
So with that comes the stress. Like I'm stressed as a teen dealing with adult issues. And one of the biggest issues I had to deal with being a young father was having to co-parent with a young mother. Now that may seem like, saying a Romeo and Juliet type of situation where y'all two both young, y'all gonna raise it, it's gonna be y'all against the world. No, it was already disjointed because at the point in time I was like, I don't think this baby's mine because again, I'm protecting myself. And
Mm-hmm.
it was like there's no way it could be my baby. But then the baby came out looking just like me, right? I remember this picture. I'm literally wearing my Taco Bell uniform and I'm holding the baby. I'm sitting there looking like, dang, like life is beautiful, right? Like I'm like, okay, cool. But my stepdad, who has a million kids, told me, whatever you do, don't sign nothing, right? And I'm just like, but my mom pressuring me, her mom pressuring me, everybody pressuring me to say sign, 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 sign. And I'm like, my stepdad really doesn't like tell me bad information, and my mom and I were very, very emotional about it. So I did not sign. I left and I went back to work, right? So they try to keep on calling me, and then that did not happen. And then hope I answered that question, but then we kind of got to press a little faster with the story.
No, you good. Listen,
Yeah,
don't listen. We flowing, right? So I mean, you were getting into it. So basically, like, what was the struggle? Just trying to figure out life being a
yes,
young father. So
yes,
yeah, I think even just with what you just said, just how shout out to moms.
yeah, for
Okay,
sure,
listen, I
absolutely,
shout out. Listen, if your mom's in your life, listen, shout out to mom. Give them the biggest kiss and hug right now.
yes,
Cause listen,
absolutely.
um, just even her being that understanding and not even casting you out and like,
Mm,
you gonna figure it out. She helped you figure it out, right?
yeah,
And that just makes me go back to think about just how and that's really, the gist of this show. I know you wanted to just kind of also express just why it's so important just to have that support,
mm,
and why young fathers need that support. So can you just talk about like why is it so important, for the younger fathers to have that support as being young fathers?
yeah. So yes, so it's gonna be a balance point too, because I'm telling my stepfather how yeah, but yeah, like my mother just to be there and got me along the way. Because again, I didn't know about filling out no application. I had no networking skills. I had nobody to call who was gainfully employed at that age. Everybody just living and being a kid. I had zero contacts. I didn't know how to do anything, right? Like, and it's crazy right now just to do hindsight. I'm in a program where I'm mentoring children now, and they're 17 through 16 through no, 14 through 17, and one of them has like a baby on the way. And I'm just like, I remember being in that moment of uncertainty, and it's like I'm watching him, and I'm like seeing a reflection of myself, saying, "You don't even know how to figure out putting a belt on yet. Like you're
Mhm.
literally still." And it's like life is gonna come at you no matter what. Like life is gonna happen. That baby's gonna be born. That baby's gonna need stuff, and you're gonna be responsible for it. And but my mother being there to help facilitate that portion of me being responsible and literally showing me, okay, well you catch this bus and this bus. So I'm on the bus. I get out of school. I will come home from school, change my book bag out, and then put my work clothes in it, and then go right to the next bus, and then go downtown and catch the bus to the mall and go to work.
Mm.
So Because again, like my mother did not make it easy on me. Like, and last other thing also is sometimes your mother can make things too easy on you growing up to the point where you don't have that callus built up to be a man. Like I, that's my word to the mothers out there. Do not make it too easy on your sons, your daughters. Do whatever you want to. This is only my word saying this. Make it a little challenging on your kids. My mother did not give me rides nowhere. I was on Rita, okay, the RTA. I was on Rita to get everywhere, and it made me respect and value having a car. It made me work hard to get a car. I worked so hard to not be back on the bus again. You see what I'm saying? But my mother instilled that in me, like, no, you're not gonna be soft. You're not gonna be this. You're gonna be ready for the world. So I appreciate mothers for that for sure.
Yes, yes, I love that. And thank you for that advice, because even with my son, that's my baby, but I
Hmm.
also see where sometimes we as women we can cuddle. I don't think, not the word, it's not the word's not cuddle, but
Cotto.
there you go, exactly. And we can mess our son up that way,
Hmm.
especially if it's a situation where you may not have that male figure around. Now, I don't know if you elaborated on your relationship a little bit with your father. Now, was your father around, or was he not present as much?
So, so my dad during this time again, one thing my dad told me before he said, it all makes sense once you have children yourself, right? And I didn't know what that meant, but I knew that that was a check I was gonna take to the bank one day, and Lord knows it definitely paid dividends because again, my mom and dad were married when I was conceived, right? They had another child, which is my younger sister. They no longer worked out, and there were bitterness in between the two. Like neither one of them are absolved from that. They are both human. They both handled it the way that they handled it. There was a breakup. There was a distance. There was protection, or all type of stuff that made it to where it was not easy for my dad to get there. I will give them that. But what I had to go through on my end later on in the story, you will see that I I use that story to realize that you do have a fight out there as a father, and if you're not up for that fight, then you'll be raised the way I was raised. My
Mm,
kids will not be raised that way because again, I was up for the fight.
I know that's right. I know that's right. And as parents, we have to be willing to be up for that fight. I
Hmm.
see we have a question here.
Okay.
All right, we got PJ Reloaded. Okay, she asks, what would you have done differently if you had the opportunity to?
Um, this is always difficult for me because I feel like my path has already been written before I was born. A lot of these different challenges I went through kind of prepared me for the harder challenges later that probably would have like rocked me off my boat. And when we get there, you will understand. My life has been a complete circle, and we'll get to that a little later. So, Peter, just hold that for a second, and then we all can kind of reminisce together, right? So to move further in the story, um, so during this time, I am a young father. I'm a single father. I'm dealing with a lot of stress. I'm having to go to work. I'm still trying to go to school. And then I have someone who is my high school sweetheart. She happened to go to a different high school than me. So she's not really involved in none of the drama around all the things going on in school. It was really my outlet. She had a car. She could pick me up. We can go to the movies. You know what I'm saying? It was like an outlet. So um, my mom again is very very lenient, so she would like let her come over. My stepdad looking like, hey, you need to watch them because I'm telling you, the way she look at that baby, she want one too. My mom like, no, no, he ain't, no, ain't nothing to worry about. And then here you go. Now she is now pregnant, and my stepdad pulled me to the side. And he looks at me and says, listen, man, I've never seen my stepdad cry before, except for this day, and except for when he was in the hospital once. He said, man, listen, I would not wish it on my worst enemy.
Mm,
And that's when I finally woke up to what was actually going on. Because honestly, during this time, I'm only getting, oh man, you're a good dad. Oh, you're doing so good. Oh, you and such are so cute. Y'all gonna be so cute with you and y'all family. And it's all this going on. Like we get an apartment, we move out, and then my stepdad is like, again, I don't know how many kids he actually got officially, but he has around 11 to 12 kids officially. So he
mm,
understands this. He he has a PhD when it comes to this portion of it, right? And again, he has that foresight, the fatherhood foresight. right? He has that long play down the road kind of situation. And that's when it finally woke up for me. And again, I'm just trying to just work and do everything like that. So at this point in time, again, while kids are getting ready for college and stuff like that, I'm literally working at Taco Bell and also delivering newspapers and going to school. This is
Mm.
my life and raising two different children, right? So this is where things kind of turn for me, right? So again, I have a girlfriend, I have a new baby. She found I got a new baby. She had so the first baby mama is now have issues with the second baby mama because again, it's just natural emotions. Like, okay, well, me, and you got a baby together, like, so I got pulls to you, ties to you, and there'll be situations where it'll be just little back and forth bickering, right? So, one story that comes to mind before everything hit the fan was one day I'm at my grandmother's house. God rest her soul, Annie Bonaparte. She was the one of the greatest spirits that ever blessed this planet. And I'm over her house because again, like my regimen would be okay. I would leave my apartment with my girlfriend and my youngest son, and then because I didn't want my child's mom to know where I lived at because she was ratchet, right? So she would drop my other son off at my grandmother's house, and I'll wash clothes. We'd be over there. We take pictures. My grandmother cook. It's like, and it's also helping us out because we don't have a lot of money, right? And it's my only time that I'm not delivering newspapers, not working, and not at school. It's the time at my grandmother's house. It's kind of like this time that is ah,
Yeah.
relax. And me and the kids are running
Peace.
around, right? I'll never forget this. It's so close to Halloween that my kids were wearing Halloween costumes. My youngest son had like a Winnie the Pooh, and my other son had on like a skull type of situation, right? So, um, she would drop the kid off, and the bottle would be soiled with like nasty old milk bottles and like one diaper in there, like none of the things. And again, she's an amazing mother today, and I'm gonna give her flowers. She's an amazing mother today. She's done an amazing job. But back during this time, it's just the past, boo. Like we got to go through this, right? It's my story at this point, right? So, um, it was times like that would cause me to have issues. But my other child mind was like super sweet. Like it doesn't matter. We're just gonna clean the bottles. We're gonna go get diapers. Everything's gonna be fine, right? Like that rock that I needed during this time because I'm ready to crash out. You know what I'm saying? Because my mom is going off about it, my grandmother going off about it, and she's like solid. So on this day, I guess she went to some type of Halloween party. I may be mixing up the time or day, but just for the sake of the story, she went to a Halloween party because I remember my kids wearing Halloween costumes. So she able to come back and get the baby at a respectable hour. She comes back at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and the door opens, and it literally looks like smoke has come out the car, like how like in the movies where like people be smoking weed in the car and smoke come out the car. It looks like that get out the car, and she come knocks on the door with her little hoochie mama outfit on, and she trying to get my son to leave. I'm like, he's already been in the you know what I'm saying, in the tub, he's in bed. Just come get him tomorrow. Go enjoy yourself. Like, you know, leave us alone. She
Mm-hmm.
gets all mad. No, give me my son. Give me my son. So she calls the police. The police come over there again. Me being a young father, me not having no mentors. I did not know this. And to this day, black police officer comes there. He knocks on the door. I say, my son is in here asleep, man. Look at him right here asleep. You see what's going on right here, right? And he kept it real. Me said, listen, man, it hurts me to have to do this because I understand you. I feel you. But if you ain't got no paperwork for this, then it's her baby. And
Mm.
she gets to take the baby. So I'm crying, my girl crying, my grandmother crying. You feel me? I give them to her. She go get inside the car. She almost left the diaper bag. Had to run out to give her a diaper bag. They pull off. And then now get all these little messages talking about, oh well, like you ain't gonna ever see your little family again. Don't worry about us. We cool. You got your little family. All that stuff that is meant to just evoke emotions out of me, right? And again, me being very stoic, I get that from my mother by nature. My mother will hear a storm outside and be sitting there like, it didn't hit my house, right? Right? So so I'm stoic and you know what I'm saying, like by nature, like especially when I'm at like a big like conflict, I'll just be stoic to just hear everything out and then I'll make an informed decision after that.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, "Don't worry about it. We cool, boo. Whatever." I don't respond back to that. Whatever. And then 2 weeks go by, and that's the longest I probably went without seeing them. I get a phone call on a Thursday or like a Friday. It had to be like a weekend kind of day. And I get a phone call say, "Hello, yeah, what are you doing right now? Just waking up. Your son is missing." What do you mean my son is missing? Well, he was with my friend who watch him, but like her daughter be running away and she gone and the baby gone. I say, where are you at? Where are you at? So she told me where she at. I call my family. We all get together. We go door to door with a picture trying to find out where he at. And when we get to where she's at, she literally laid in the bed with a dude. I'm like, literally, like, why your child is missing? You laid up with the dude in the bed. It's just like, now I am not so. I'm pissed off. My brother grabbed me, like, come on, like outside, like, no, because you about to be in here fighting, and you not gonna solve nothing. So thank God for family, right?
Yes.
Um, so to make a long story less long, we look around for him, we look around for him. She called me back to say, hey, we found him. So I run and go get him in the car. We go down to get him checked out to make sure nothing was wrong with him. And when it's time to get the baby back, I'm like, no, I'm keeping my son. You can go do what you want to go do. Just leave my son out of this. Like, go have your fun. Go do it. Like, and just leave. Like, it's cool. And she's like, no, give me my son, give me my son, getting all crazy, start reaching on the back window and yanking on the back window. Now, remember, I told you, my other child mama, who I'm telling you, has never had a ghetto bone in her body, never been a person to even yell, never raise her voice, got her little quiet stuff out the car and beat the brakes off of her, okay? Beat the stop sign off of her, right? And of course, I'm not inducing violence, but then this little day, it's like, okay, I'm a young father dealing with two young mothers at this point in time. And I'm just like, I'm just trying to get custody of my child. So that happened. She called the police. She said, ended up still getting the baby again. And then it turns the whole thing about her having to go to court. The case got dismissed. But she say, I'm gonna put you on child support, right? Now remember my stepdad told me that don't sign anything part, like in the very first part, father giving that look down the road kind of situation, because he heard the small detail when I told my mom I was wearing a condom. I did not, right? Come to find out, my mother gets the paper in the mail. She opened up. She's like, Peanut, your mail here. Like, he yours. Yours. I'm like, Mama, just open it. Then just tell me. She opened the paperwork up. He wasn't halfway mine. So I think my mom playing with me. I'm like, Mama, quit playing. My mom don't play though. Like, I'm like, Mama, quit playing. Like, I'm not taking it serious. And RP to Dante Price, Tay Nitty, he's in the car with me. I'm like, man, here, man, talk to mom. And he's on the phone with her. He start crying first. And then now we both sitting there crying, riding down daggone James H. McGee. We was crying, boo-hooing, boo-hooing. So it turned into this whole different thing where it's like this person who was bringing all this drama to my life with the child that is not mine. At this point in time, the child is 2 years old. I find out, and then she still ain't telling nobody. So everybody looking at me like, oh, he a deadbeat. He ain't taking care of his child. He ain't this. He ain't that. All this is the rumors surrounding around me. When again, all these licks I'm saying, because again, I'm being stoic. I'm not airing nobody out. You never see me even say this on Facebook. Never aired anybody out. To this day, I'm still not even being completely all the way into that part, right? So I chose peace, right? I chose to raise my son. I chose to try the relationship with my child's mom, right? So that did not work out either later on because again, it's so much drama on my end. She's a peaceful person. She's not even used to that type of stuff. I brought too much drama to her life. So, you know, I went from there to, me being a young father, working, on child support now with my real child at this point. And it's like I had a better job at the point in time where I was working at like a factory. It was paying a lot because I worked a lot of overtime. They laid everybody off, and child support did not care. They were saying, "Hey, you need to still make these monthly obligations." And listen, the saddest time of my life was when I went and worked 40 hours a week doing a job I hated doing. It was clean out pressure cleaning. Great company. I love them. Thank y'all for holding me down because they also did some things. You know what I'm saying? Like help me stay afloat. But I got a $15 check for working 40 hours and was expected to be back at work the very next day.
Mm.
Right. So that right there was a situation where it's like, okay, so all my check is being taken. I don't have money to even support myself,
Mm-hmm.
right? So every situation from there transpired from those choices that I was left with by being a young father, by not having that foresight, by not being able to look down the road, by me not committing all the way, by me like all these different things are things I've learned throughout this journey of fatherhood.
Yeah.
So we can get to your next question. I'm sorry.
No, I love it. I thank you for just being honest and being vocal and transparent in the journey of fatherhood, especially you being young as you were. I have another question, but of course, before we get to the next question, if you guys enjoy this episode, listen, give my brother some hand because it takes a lot to come on here and share that. So I just want to give you my love and flowers for that. But if you guys are enjoying this episode just as well as I am, please, 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 please show your support today, okay? By texting the word donate to 937-313-2466, okay? All donations will be towards the continuation of Healing with Angelica's podcast. We have now been on the air for 3 years, you guys. I have like over like 400 freaking videos, so many videos, so many good content. So please be sure to check us out, okay? I love you all. Now let's get back to today's episode, The Fight for Fatherhood with Pnut Johnson. All right, you guys. So with everything that you spoke about was so much in my mind, I'm just trying to figure out in what time did you finally have space to figure out your mental health? Because
Mm.
all of that, you being young, having to go from school, go to jobs, and then, growing up a little bit more, having another child, finding out all these news and dealing with, you know, women, how we are, we're
Mhm.
emotional, but we love our women at the end of the day. Just dealing with these different emotions and different time frames of your life. Like, how did you deal with this, with that on a mental scale?
Oh my God. And it's crazy that I don't never add this part in because it's like, thank God I've always had a best friend named Brittany Dale. She has been the person who, oh my God, it's literally so ever since middle school, we've been friends. Like, and we're still friends to this day. So that was my outlet. It was a person I could talk to that had a different perspective than me, that can see their side of stuff. Even when it wasn't like convenient, like it was time where we'd be on the phone, I'll say something to her about her situation and she hang up on me, right? Like we're friends like that all up into the core. And that was one thing I had because again, I don't think I would have made it without it. Like me thinking about it, because at the time, like I wasn't well, I was an athlete, so I didn't smoke at all. I still to this day don't smoke cigarettes, anything like that, no vaping, nothing like that. I used to, what I'm saying, smoke a little bit of weed, but that's kind of like, in my adult stages. But and at that age, I wasn't doing anything. I was completely clear minded, going through all these different changes in my life. And I would have to say that my best friend Brittany Dale was one of the greatest adds to my life because I cannot think of any other outlet I had besides her.
Mm. Shout out to, what was her name again? I
Brittany
want to
Dale, Brittany Dale.
Brittany Dale. Why did I just want
Mhm.
to say like Jasmine or something? But Brittany Dale. Shout out to Brittany Dale. Hey,
Right,
Brittany.
for sure. For sure.
Thank you for sharing that. So with the stigma, right? Unfortunately, us as Black people, we have this stigma of baby mama, baby daddy,
Hmm.
which isn't okay.
Right.
However, um, our behavior when it comes to how we treat one another as women and men, um, actually amplifies that stigma of baby mama and baby daddy, unfortunately.
Hmm.
So I just wanted to know, just growing up, I know you ain't old, but you just growing up, just getting more mature, right? Like, what advice would you give a young man that may be going through issue when it comes to having their rights with their child?
Hmm. Okay, so it starts before you get to the NBA game, right? The NBA game is now you're playing ball for the championship, which is your child, right? it starts in the practice of when you're courting and when you're dating and when you're getting with potential mates. I would say look for respect first. That is the biggest element that people overlook. They'll look at the pretty face, they'll look at the body, they'll look at her lifestyle, they'll look at all different things, they'll look at her, but the respect is that small shadow in the room that forecasts who that person truly is. So I've
Mhm.
seen it wash out differently between people who have a lot of respect compared to people who don't. Because even in those moments of that, I've never called a woman out her name. She can never tell you called her out her name. I never put my hands on her. I've never done that to anybody, right? So for that to be a whole situation, before you get to that part, because again it kind of helps you out when it comes to the temperament of you trying to get your child right. If you already got domestic violence on your case, if you already known for being a, you know what I'm saying, a violent person, you're not going to get the same shake that I got out of the situation. Because so I kind of got to get into that part of me fighting for custody. So so after I had my only son, right, and we're at that part of the story. So during this time, again, I truly hated that job so much. Again, after that $15 check, oh, we got to reshuffle. So what I did was, because again, one thing that, again, reason why I don't um, regret things in my life, because in high school, I didn't know what I wanted to be. I had
Right.
no idea what I wanted to be. But me being limited in choices made it to where okay, these are only two things I can do right now, right? Which is continue down this path of working these different jobs, and when child support find out, they're gonna take out my money, or B, me try to make more money. And I chose option B. So what I did was I went back to school. So I went to college. During this time, I realized, okay, if I get my little school check, they can't take that for child support. So at least get my school check. You know what I'm saying? I'm still working, and they're working with me to make sure that we're kind of hitting certain markets to where they don't have to report it. That's a whole different thing, right? So, but again, I'm surviving, right? I'm surviving, and then I'm finally got a little bit of money in my pocket to where now, my son's birthday, he coming over, we kicking it. At the point in time, I'm renovating the house. He coming over, we're painting stuff like that. The house is like I'm spending quality time with them, and she's seeing a different version of me because again, she saw me be immature at a point in time in my life where again, like I didn't have any choices besides negative and negative until I thought of a positive. So now it's kind of like, okay, now she's working with me on certain things. Okay, well, if they want to do a reduction hearing or whatever, I won't, what I'm saying, I won't be combative of whatever they come up with. So then I get my child support reduced. And then, it was like a whole thing. So for people that are already on child support, because again, we'll get to the whole way you fight for your custody. I promise y'all, we'll get there, right? But get if you're paying too much child support, go get a reduction hearing. Don't continue to keep trying to run around the system, trying to make money outside the system. Do what you need to do to survive, King. But go down there and file your paperwork. Because I'm telling you, they'll look at your lifestyle and say, okay, how many bills are you paying? How much stuff is going in and going out? And they will adjust it appropriately, right? And if not, you need to get you a lawyer, right? Which again, you can file pro se. You can there's advocates out there. You can Google free advice from attorneys, stuff like that. And hell, at this point in time, you probably can use chat GCP, right? But go get your paperwork filed so you can still survive. So what happens after this is okay, now I'm engulfed in fatherhood. Again, when you are a young father, it's similar to being a young mother because you're limited in who your potential mates can be, right? You don't want somebody that's too wild, you don't want too crazy. You need somebody that's gonna be around your child, right? So now it's not like I'm not even choosing love at this point. I'm choosing people who can come in, help, provide. Like I'm looking at it the same way as a single mother would, right? If you have nothing to offer, then guess what you're gonna be? Like it's not gonna be nothing else besides that. So I go a whole 10 years without having children again. I had two children by the time I graduated college. Now let's get into that, right? So you're like, whoa, Peanut, you went from having two kids to now you have another two kids back to back. So what happened is like during college again, focused on school, still having fun. Somebody who's been helping me, we're cool. We, you know what I'm saying? We have relations, whatever. But this person says that they're on, you know what I'm saying? They're contraceptions, right? And the other person I'm dealing with kind of like we kind of in like the dating stages. Like we ain't did nothing yet, but so me and her kind of like break it off. I get serious with the other person, and then months go by, and then I get a phone call saying, "Hey, I'm pregnant." I'm like, "Oh, what do you mean you pregnant?" Like, and then yeah, so I had two children in 1 year. So at the point in time, again. I've already been through two children in 1 year before. Well, not in 1 year, but dealing with two mothers at the same time. I'm like, oh, how did I get myself in this circle again? And again, it is situations that are similar, reminiscent. Again, I know how to navigate the waters already because I've already dealt with this before. Oh, you're not coming to my house. You need to know where I live at. I'm gonna keep the kids. Like I come get, and I'm doing the transporting around. I'm the one controlling all the situation to where now
Mhm.
my kids are growing up together. So what comes full circle is me and my youngest child's mom break up, and so on her birthday, I show up. No, it's the day for her birthday. She asked, and it's during COVID. So my daughter at this point in time is 7 or 8. She calls me and say, "Hey, I need you to come over to put together her dollhouse for her birthday tomorrow." Sure, no problem. Now, mind you, we had just broke up like right before my birthday. My birthday is July 24th. My daughter's birthday is August 14th. So it's literally that lap between like late July into just a little bit of, you know what I'm saying, like the 2 weeks, 3 weeks of breaking up. And she's trying to kind of get me back, but it really ain't working out because I'm already done, right? So I show up over there, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying nothing to her. So she's like sitting over there watching me for a little bit. I'm not even looking at her. I got my back to her and I'm putting it together. So then like I get done with it, I'm about to leave. She's like, like how would you feel if, because I may get COVID and because I'm a nurse. So, if I get that, then, I'll go to a hotel and like you can stay here with your daughter. I'm like, no, she can come where I'm at.
Mhm.
So that turned into a whole issue. She got so mad, like cussed me out. I didn't cuss her back. I left. Right. So then it was like that was messed up. It's the day for my daughter's birthday. So the very next day, whatever, I don't even contact her. I'm just like, okay, I already know what time the birthday party is. She already told me. She told me before we got into it. So I show up at the birthday party with her gifts and stuff like that. She let me in. It's only her mom there, me, and my daughter. Right. And her other son at the time from a previous relationship. So I'm in there, you know what I'm saying? I'm just kicking it, whatever, and just hanging out, hug KK, having a good time. And then I had to use the restroom, and she made some excuse saying like the restroom up front didn't work, so use the one in the back. So I'm like, all right, bet. Because again, I used to live there. Like, so I went to the restroom in the back, like normal, like one in the bedroom. So while I'm in there, she comes in the back restroom, like after I get done, and she's like in there, like, I need to talk to you. Now, this restroom is about this big. And I'm standing there talking to her, and she just starts crying. I'm just like, here we go with this. Like again, crying. And I'm sitting there listening, and she was like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm like, nah, it's fine. I'm like, nah, it's fine. Like, I'm saying, we just co-parents. She's like, I'm not talking about that. I'm like, what are you talking about? She says, KK's not yours. Now, in this moment, it is so good that I've already been through this type of situation before, right? I've already cried about a child not being mine. I boo-hooed. I mourned that loss. And I know she was full of sugar honey iced tea, right? I knew she was lying to me. She wanted to provoke me. She wanted to get her get back. She wanted to make me feel away because I did not feel away. And all I did was laugh at her and say, ah, you tried it. And I walked out of the bedroom and went back out there and enjoyed the time with my daughter. She comes out of the bedroom, mad, cussing, hollering. Her mom was like, what's going on? I said, well, your daughter just told me that KK's not mine right there. Like, now, my daughter did not hear that or whatever. We there. Sorry. Right? All right. So I'm sitting there thinking like, I'm cool for real. Like, whatever. Like, if that's the case, then we'll figure out a whole nother day. Right? So she's like, no, no, no. I think you should leave. I think you should leave. So I leave and I drive down the street to the it was like a gas station down the street. And I call her back and I say, listen, I'm not mad at you. I don't care. If she's 7 years old, she's not mine, then that makes you the liar. It don't make it's no bearing off of me. I know that's my daughter. Like, no, like so I was like, can I please come back to just say goodbye to my daughter, give her a hug, right? And whatever. So she's like, all right, bet. But like promise me you're gonna do nothing. I'm not stupid. I get back, I hug her, everything's fine. I leave. I get all the way back home and I break down. Like boo-hoo cry. Like the ugliest cry face you ever seen. You ever seen Tyrese crying with like whatever celebrity you thinking of the ugliest faces, all them faces in one. I'm just in there just boo-hoo crying. And that set me on a real bad spiral. Like heavy drinking, just kicking it, just trying to do everything to keep my mind off of that. And during this time, whatever, she was like not letting me see my daughter. It was 100 and something days had went by after I the one brought her home from the hospital. I was there every second of her life, like besides the part of me and her breaking up. So I contacted um, Ju- Judge Capizzi, which at this point in time he's no longer a sitting magistrate. So his email address was still the same. Now this is crazy that I had his email address from my very first case of child support, and I contacted him, and he was more or less like guiding me, but not giving me legal advice. Right? He was telling me, hey, you know, the system is set up for men who really want to be involved in their child's life. And that's the part I'm telling y'all is he told me to go file a pro se packet and literally put in all the information that was needed in there. It was very, very easy to fill out. The packet was, I think, was $15 to $20. It may have been $25. Do not quote me, but it was less than $40, y'all. I found this paperwork. I went to court. Long story less long, end up getting my rights back. You see what I'm saying? And that is something I want to empower people to think of. So when you hear that person complaining about, oh man, she'll never let me see him, let me see him, you got to go file that paperwork because only paperwork you got is when they get their birth certificate, they got rights to the baby. You're not on there. You ain't got nothing like that going on. Go file your paperwork. It is not snitching. You're not telling on anybody. You're not involved in no criminal activity. This is family court. You're going to get your child back, right? And that's exactly what I did. And it was crazy after I did that, the shift in how she viewed me changed. It went from, you know, you're not ready for this, you're not ready for that, to you're serious, right? And I have not had any issues with her ever since. We are completely good co-parent on both ends for all three of my children. Great relationship throughout. Because again, it didn't start the way it didn't end the way it started, right? So when we go back to the question about PJ Reed, do I regret it? No, because if I did not go through a situation of that heartache of me finding out that the first child wasn't mine, my very first born wasn't mine, I probably would have went crazy in that daggone little ass small, that little small area, right? Right. As I would have said is what I'm gonna say, right? But yeah, like I probably would have lost my mind, right? I'd probably be doing a million years in prison right now, and my child would be raised by the person who wanted me to not be around. So no, I don't regret anything.
Mm, I love it. I love it. It's just
Oh, I
taking.
can't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me?
Is it me?
Can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me? Please put the fire emojis in the comment section if y'all can hear me.
Man, it could have been one of my thing. Like, let
I
me
can hear you. You sound actually better.
take me off stage and then bring me back up.
Let me see.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, you can't hear me?
So,
Okay. Give me a moment, y'all. Because if our
Flipping when my alarm went off. So can you take me off stage and bring me back
okay,
up?
yeah, okay, that's
All
fine.
right.
Let me see. Do, 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 do.
Hello?
Okay, can you hear me?
Oh, God, what's going on?
Oh no! Why are we doing this at towards the
Let
end of
me.
the show? Okay, okay you can yes we can. Okay, you can hear me. Maybe he can't hear me. Okay, so this is what's probably gonna have to happen. You'll probably have to exit out. Oh dang, he can't hear me.
can
Oh
anybody in
well.
the comment section hear you?
They said they can hear me. Okay. All right. Of course, we have our technical difficulties. So give us a moment. Let's see here. And if you guys can hear me, please let me know again. I know PJ, you said you can. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, I can hear
Okay.
you now.
You can hear me now?
Yeah, I don't know what the heck happened. I don't know.
It's okay. We're in this new modern day uh technology stuff, I guess.
Mhm.
But yes. Oh my God, thank you so much. We're getting towards the end of the show, and I just want to say thank you so much, Peanut, for just sharing just your insight on fatherhood, and just also being able to share your journey and things that you went through to also be able to help and inspire others. I also just want to say thank you all for joining us today to discuss this well needed topic, the fight for fatherhood. I would also like to thank my amazing audience and Healing Tribe for joining us today. I pray that this episode was informative, valuable, and of course, the number one thing, always healing to you all. Now, before we end today's show, Pina, can you please leave our audience with some closing remarks?
Yeah, so I looked at a bunch of different statistics, right? So a little bit of the bad is, right, a child that is raised fatherless is 6 times more likely to end up in poverty or in prison or both, right? But ABC News have reported that 78% of black fathers are eating meals with their children compared to their other counterparts. So they're the highest. They're also the highest when it comes to their activities, 27% compared to their 20% counterpart. 41% help with their homework, right? And again, I help my son with his as well. A father is neither an anchor to hold us back nor a sail to take us, but a guiding light whose love shows us the way.
Yes. Oh my God, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that, Peanut. Okay, I need y'all to make sure y'all remember what he just said, okay? Fathers are important. We need you guys. We love you guys. And as women, we just need to support that because it's not about us, it's about the children, right? So I just want to say thank you, Peanut, for joining us today and also the amazing audience. And we leave you all as we came. Peace and blessings. Welcome to Healing with Angelica presents about healing. I know that's really scary for a lot of us because when we understand what healing is, we also got to understand that we also experience it because, like I said, it goes all the way back from they call it post-traumatic slave disorder.
Meditation. Got to say about how to eat the liver.